You are now listening to
D, the Delinquent.
on the podcast.
This is Many Hats, No Cap, baby.
D, the Delinquent. Many hats, no cap.
Welcome to Many Hats, No Cap with Delinquent. Do you know what my parents used to say to me? A lot. Don't lie to me, because if you do, I can't protect you. That shit is some real ass shit. I mean, think about it. That shit runs deep, bro. It's like working with a lawyer. For those of you that have worked with a lawyer, or work with a lawyer, or about to work with a lawyer, God forbid, you know what I'm talking about. See, good lawyers will want to know the truth. They'll either ask their clients up front, or they'll probe with questions and get it out of them. Simply because they want to be on the same page with their client and everybody else who's involved with the situation. And they want to attack this shit with some kind of strategy. And they want to know what the fuck they fighting for and why. See, it's like this. When my son gets older, I am definitely going to emphasize that to him. I'm going to tell him that. Don't ever lie to me. Because if you do, I just can't protect you as good as I can if I knew the truth. Hell, and I'll be honest with you too. I know a lot of you would disagree with this, but if my son's ever in a pickle, in a bad jam, and he's facing time, and I could see it in his face, he just can't do it or don't want to do it, whatever, I am the dad on 25th hour. We are hitting the road, Jack. We are going to get him a new identity, and he's just going to be gone. Yeah. But like I said, I know some of y'all would disagree with that. But at the same time, if I see that my son is ready for the shit and ready to face his consequences like a fucking man, then yeah, he'll man up and do what he got to do. But either way, whatever it is, he will always tell me the truth. That way, I can try my best to protect him at all times. You know, I remember in middle school, I won't say her name, Michelle. It's fine, we're super cool. And we've always been cool. She has a great family, a great career. She's doing great for herself. If she ever sees this, she knows that this shit really happened. And she can verify the shit. But anyway, we were in middle school, 6th grade. She had $5. And this was during the time where trapper keepers, whatever they were called, bookkeepers with all the cool graphics and shit, they were out. Everybody had some. She had $5. And she was excited about this $5 because she was looking forward to get some traveling tacos. That's what we used to call them down here in Tucson. All it is chili beans with meat, and they mix it with Fritos or Doritos, whatever chips you want. At the snack bar at our school, you used to get a drink and 2 traveling tacos for $5 even. Great deal. Now, hell no. Shit, that shit only get you a couple $5 will only get you French fries. Anyway, so she was excited to spend her $5 on some traveling tacos. Well, she was showing everybody her $5, and she put it in one of her folders in her Trapper Keeper. Now, we had an assignment this day. I believe we were in English class. Each table sat 2 students. Me and her sat next to each other. Our teacher was calling each table up one by one, so technically 2 students by 2 students, to pick up some equipment, utensils that we needed for an assignment going on that day. I think it was like charcoal or something, because we had to draw some shit with charcoal. So anyway, she's showing everybody these $5, and she put it in one of her folders, closed up her Trapper Keeper, and put it in her book bag, which was her backpack on the back of her chair. All of us did that. So we get called up to her desk, the teacher's desk. We get our utensils, and when we come back, for some reason, Michelle felt like she had to check if the $5 was still there. She checks it. Now I'm sitting next to her, all dummy, ignorant. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm looking at this piece of charcoal. I'm pretty sure it was charcoal. I'm looking at this piece of charcoal on my paper, getting ready for the assignment. And all of a sudden, Michelle just yells, "My $5 is gone." Somebody stole my $5. And then when she said this the third time, my $5 is gone. She's looking right at me with evil ass eyes, implying that I stole her $5. And I remember being completely dumbfounded, in total disbelief. Because me and her were cool. We still are cool. But I was just looking at her like, how the fuck would I even have the time, the opportunity to steal your $5? Me and you walked up to the teacher together. But she was adamant. She was standing on 10. She was on 10 toes down on this shit. She truly believed I stole her $5. She's shouting, crying, mad about these $5. And I'm just looking at her, not saying a word. The teacher then got up off her desk and walks over to us. Super embarrassing. She makes me stand up, empty out my pockets. She makes me take out all this shit out of my backpack just to prove that I don't have her $5. It got so deep, I had to take my shoes off and my socks off to prove I didn't have the $5. Michelle's crying, upset. Now, there was one dude who was sitting behind us who I thought in my head, if anybody stole the $5, it's that motherfucker. But I ain't no snitch. I still didn't say shit. So then the teacher, she calls over a monitor, and the monitor comes down. He searches me too. They don't find the $5 because I really didn't take the $5. So then another monitor comes down, and the monitor tells Michelle, let me see your bag. Let me go through your trapper keeper and just make sure it's not in there. Michelle opens up her book, her trapper keeper, whatever you want to call it, and first thing she finds is the $5. It slid out, went to another folder, I don't know, but the $5 was in there. Michelle feels bad. She's a good girl. Awesome chick. She feels genuinely bad. Horrible. She's crying, apologizing to me. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Joey. I'm so sorry. Like, it's crazy. It was a good apology. I believed it. It was sincere. She meant it. Well, anyway, the school day was over. I get on the bus. I go home. I make it home. I'm just walking, going home, just a regular day. I go inside the house, and my parents are both sitting at the dinner table. And they just have the biggest concerned faces on their faces. I go, what's going on? My dad says, did you steal someone's $5? I go, no. And then my mom says, the school called and said you stole someone's $5, some girl's $5. Oh, no, that was a bad mix-up. And then my dad says in Spanish, if you lie to us, we can't protect you. I go, no, I'm telling the truth. It was a bad mix-up. My mom says, well, listen, just be honest. Tell us the truth because we have a plan if you did. I said, no, Mom, I really didn't steal the $5. Okay, cool. They believe me. And I said, I'm just curious, what was the plan? And my dad says, I was going to give you $5 and I was going to tell you to sneak it into her book bag sometime of the day and just walk away. Just leave it alone. It was funny, but that's the thing. If you're honest with your peoples, with your day ones, with your kids, with your partners, if you're just real, they will have your back. It's as simple as that. The truth will set you free. Even when you're bullshitting, even when you get into some dumb, grimy, ugly shit. If you're real with your peoples, real with your lawyers, real with your day ones, with your homies, your partners, your kids, they will have your back, genuinely. But you can't lie to your folks, man. You can't lie to your blood. You just can't. It won't work. And they always say, the truth shall set you free. Yeah, only with your peoples. Because nobody gives a fuck about you, me, him, her, them, they, whatever. If they don't feel for you, if they don't have some kind of connection for you, with you. You feel me? You just got to keep it real with your day ones, your blood, your partner, your kids, yourself. You know what I'm talking about. Can't be a liar. And if you are a liar, you gotta fess up and be honest with your peoples. Yo, I lied about this. I lied about that. I guess I'm saying you gotta keep it real. You gotta be honest at some point, or you're just completely fucked. And besides, telling the truth is so much easier than fucking keeping up with lies. That's you don't need me. You don't need me to explain to you why. Fucking telling lies and trying to stick to lies is just horrible. You just lose track of it. Shit just starts fumbling, and the truth just eventually comes out. The truth always comes out. But if you fucking with a lawyer and some day ones, shit, they'll get you back. You guys will come up with a game plan together and swindle yourselves out of that shit. You feel me? Hopefully you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, man, speaking about liars and all that shit, liars are just characters. You feel me? For those of you that know, you know that I love music. I absolutely love music. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was guilty of this, but when I first started doing music, I was playing a character. I was trying to be too much involved of being some cool ass Mr. Swag dude making music. But then things started really working out for me and my homies when we started coming out of our shells and just being more real, being us, just being real. Stopping with the whole character shit, you feel me? That shit don't work. And I see a whole lot of new artists coming out today that are real themselves, which is great, but the majority of them are just playing fucking characters. If I had to give you an example, and I know I'm going to sound like a hater to a lot of young folks out there, but I got to call this girl out. Lord Lynn. She came out when 6ix9ine first came out. So she was trying to match that energy, all that shouting, which is cool. But now when you see her doing her music, you can tell, one, it just doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel real. And the more you dig into her content, you just feel and see she's just playing a character. And the older she's getting, she's having a hard time continuing to play this fucking character. Go check her out if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Lord Lynn. I hope the best for her. I wish her the best, but she's playing a character. And I'm telling you now, that's just a fucking facade, a phase, a fad. It's not gonna work. She better break out of that character immediately. She better snap out of it yesterday and figure out her calling. Come out of her shell. Do fucking rock music, heavy metal, or whatever the fuck else. But this right now ain't gonna work forever. Flat out. Point blank period. Speaking about playing characters and shit, I got a cousin who I love to death. Super loyal. Great dude, has a great heart, but I got a funny story to tell. See, he's one of those ones where he'll get into a relationship. Well, used to. He's married now. But he would get into these relationships and, oh my God, he would always be cheating, fucking around. And then whenever he'd get caught, he would tell these girls with no shame, right in front of us, right next to us. I've been in the same room, in the same car while he had these conversations with these girls. He'd be like, "No, babe, please. If you leave me, I'm going to kill myself." And then he would look at us with a grin on his face. But man, he would really sell this shit. He would have tears rolling down his face and shit. Well, one time, he was dating this girl. She was a cheerleader. She's half black, half Mexican. Her name was Deja. And Deja, super smart girl, awesome chick. And Deja, she's also from the streets. She's street smart. Well, her and my cousin were dating. They were getting real serious. My cousin ended up cheating on her and all this shit. And Deja sent him a text like, "Yo, we're done. I'm not fucking with you no more." So then my cousin thought his old bag of tricks would work on Deja. Here's how that convo went in the car. I'll never forget this. My cousin calls her up. "Babe, please don't leave. If you leave me, I'm going to kill myself." And he had her on speakerphone. And the only reason why he had her on speakerphone is because his regular earpiece wasn't working. So it would only work if he had whoever he's talking to on speakerphone. It was one of those older phones. It was like a fucking Samsung S4, S3, I don't know. Anyway, and I remember hearing Deja say that again? And my cousin goes, if you fucking leave me, I'm gonna kill myself. And Deja says, huh, do it. Do it then, motherfucker, do it. Call me back when you're done. She hung up. And he looked at all of us, and he looked at the phone. Yeah, she hung up. And my other cousin's in the back seat, and he said, call me back when you're done. And we just start laughing. My cousin's not laughing because he was trying to sell this shit. He's just tearing up. He's like, oh, fuck that. I'm calling her back. He calls her back. And we're laughing. So she answers, hello? And he goes, bitch, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. She goes, you call me bitch? Motherfucker, don't call me again. Even after you kill yourself, don't call me back. She hung up on him. And he looks at us. He's like, damn. Because this shit would always work with girls. For him. I don't know why. I think girls were afraid that he would really do it because he was fucking crazy. You know, he was a motherfucker jumping off roofs and shit, lighting himself on fire and shit. He would play that game where you'd put your elbows together and put a cigarette in the middle, and whoever pulls out first is a pussy. Yeah, he would play that shit. He'd play quarters. If you don't know what quarters is, you crazy. But he was that motherfucker. Anyway, we're laughing. And I still couldn't get over the fact that she said, do it. Call me back when you're done. Call me back when you're done killing yourself. Like she knew he was just full of shit. Props to Deja. Anyway, so years pass. I'm talking years, decades. Well, not decades, almost decades. 16 years pass. We're chilling at a family event. Me, my cousin, my other cousin, and some of my homies came through too. We're just chilling, hanging out. My cousin's drinking, talking about being broke and how things ain't really working for him. And all of a sudden, his phone rings. He's like, huh. And I go, who's that, cousin? He says, I don't know. I've never seen this number before. Well, answer it. What if it's a bill collector? I don't know. Fucking answer it, bro. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday. Just answer it. Ain't no bill collectors calling you at this time. He answers the phone. This time, his regular phone, his earpiece is working, so he don't have it on speakerphone. But I remember him answering it, and he goes, hello? Oh, hey. What's up? And then he looks at me, and he puts her on speakerphone. It's Deja. He's like, it's Deja, bro. It's Deja. And I hear Deja say, what's up, stupid? And my cousin, this is the first time they spoke in, several years. My cousin goes, hey, what's up? Thanks for calling me. How you doing? She goes, I'm married now, but I got a question to ask you, dumbass. What's up? She goes, you looking for work? And he says, I actually am. I haven't had a job for a bit. And she cuts him off. She says, shut up. Listen. And he goes, what's up? She says, me and my husband are starting a landscaping company. I think you'd be a great supervisor. And he goes, oh, damn. Well, thank you so much for thinking about me. I can't believe you're calling me. And she goes, listen, stupid. She says, I know how you are, but I also know how you are. Meaning, this is her talking. Meaning, you play dumb shit, you do dumb shit, but I know you're a great worker and you mean good. He says, thanks, Deja. And then she says, come to my mom's house tomorrow. Me and my husband gonna do all the paperwork and everything. We're gonna give you a keys to your own truck and all that. We're gonna make this happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 10 years now, and they are a growing, successful company. My cousin's been there forever. My cousin's married to some other girl. He has some kids of his own now, and they are a great power/ex couple. I don't know what you'd call it, but they work great together. But I bring that up because even though my cousin was trying to play games with her and if you fucking leave me, I'm gonna kill myself, he was still always real with her. Because whenever they got back together after their arguments and shit, he would just be himself. He always kept it real. And she was smart enough to just know him, to know the real him, to know the real deal. even though he wasn't honest about hurting himself if she left him and shit, he would keep it real to her by just being himself on the daily with her. That's the thing. She knew what the fuck it was getting involved with him again, and she knew how he was at the end of the day. And she knew, yeah, I know you're a dumbass, you're stupid, you can be dumb, but I also know you're a good worker. You're a good person. Think about that. She's starting this huge company with her husband, doesn't talk to this motherfucker, my cousin, for several years, but still knows this guy is the one we need on our team. And that type of shit only happens when you're real, when you're yourself around other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be real with your day ones. And my cousin and Deja, even though they didn't work out on the relationship tip, they worked out because my cousin always kept it real with her. Except for actually hurting himself if she left him. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. Just fucking be real. Just be honest with your day ones, with your family, with your partner, and with your kids. But also with yourself.
D, the delinquent. Many hats, no cap.